Dear learners, welcome to the course on SWAM Essentials of Financial Management. Here, after having completed the introduction to working capital management and also the discussion on the two very important component cash management and the receivables management, today my lecture would be devoted to the management of inventory or management of stock. So, here in this lecture I shall be covering the concept of inventory management, benefits of holding inventories, cost of holding inventories, and after that we shall also discuss what are the different objectives of inventory management, techniques which is applied to optimize the inventory in any business organization, and finally how do we really evaluate whether the inventory management process of any organization is efficient or not. So, let us start with the concept of inventory management. Here in the world of finance, inventory is often seen as a very important item. Why it is important? Because the sufficient inventory would ensure the continuity in operation. Secondly, it would also help a company to satisfy the customer's demand, and whenever the sales demand is coming, the company would always be able to satisfy the customer's demand and thereby setting a very smooth process of sales and distribution. So, why we are studying this particular topic under the financial management, although this is the direct responsibility of the production department and the purchase department, but who would provide the finances for purchasing the inventory and who is going to handle the cost. So, that is why we have to study the inventory management topic under the essentials of financial management. Now, the discussion would start from the benefits of carrying the inventory in any organization. So, here we know that the inventory can be seen under three particular category. Number one, the raw material which is needed for production process, then when it is converted into semi finished goods, it is called the work in progress, but it is still the part of inventory. Then the work in progress is converted into finished goods. So, the conceptually all these three stages will come under the inventory management, and we know, and for running a business operation smoothly, we need to have the raw material, we need to have the work in progress and also the finished goods. So, here the benefits can be discussed in terms of continuity of production. So, unless until company has sufficient stock of raw material, the production process may not run uninterrupted. So, that is the first benefit. Economies of scale in procurements, where the company is going to purchase bulk amount of inventory, it may bargain with the supplier for a reasonable amount of discount and also for certain other benefits. Then the market demand can be volatile, and sometime in order to capitalize the benefits of rising demand, company can have the tension free environment where it is having the sufficient stocks to run the production process. Otherwise, it may have to buy the inventory at a very high price, which may not be good for the operating cost minimization. Then operation flexibility can also be ensured only when there is sufficient stock of raw material and also the work in progress and finished goods. If there is any this breakdown in operational procedure, then inventory can minimize the risk of interrupted production, and also the customer can be satisfied and the production scheduling can be arranged in a best possible manner when the inventory stock is not creating any problem for the organization. Now, as there is no unmixed blessing in this word, the carrying inventory would also entail some of the cost, which can be very disadvantageous, very cumbersome for the financial health, operational efficiency and long term viability of any business organization. Let us see what are the cost of carrying inventory. So, capital cost is one that occur if company is going to lock its fund in the inventory. So, in order to procure and store material, then company would have to lock some of its fund in the inventory or in the raw material. So, that is a cost which would have been used otherwise by the company, and that is how we can reduce the capital cost by predicting the accurate amount of inventory for any business operation. Inventory service cost includes the insurance premium, the taxes, handling and record keeping, and some of the administrative cost which is associated with the inventory servicing cost. Now, if the inventory is to be stored in some warehouses, in some godown, there will be certain storage cost, and this storage cost can be studied with the help of fixed cost, labor cost, and also the depreciation cost related to the inventory storage. Fixed costs such as the rent, the lighting, heating, security, and janitorial services. There are certain labor costs which is also incurred on handling and moving inventory from one place to the other place. Now, depreciation of storage equipment and infrastructure is another cost that company need to incur when amount of inventory is going to be stored in any place. Now, along with the capital cost is storage cost, there is another cost which is termed as the risk of obsolescence and spoilage. We know that there are certain industry which is changing very rapidly, it is changing at a very fast stage. Then if you are going to stock beyond a reasonable limit, then there is a chance that the product will get obsolete and the actual value of the inventory will get deteriorated over a period of that company need to write off. Then along with this there can be another risk of price fluctuation, and here if company is keeping large amount of inventory and there is a fluctuation in the market price of the particular commodity, that can create a problem whenever there is a fall or whenever there is a rise in the market price of the existing inventory. Then every inventory has to be procured from the market, and along with this there comes the decision as what should be the size of order, because the ordering cost will not vary regarding the size of the lot, but it would be calculated based on the number of order a company is going to place. So, this acquisition cost will include the preparation of requisitions, purchasing orders, administrative paperwork has to be done, and then there are certain costs which incurs while coordinating with the supplier. So, these are the costs associated with the inventory management. Then we have seen the cost of inventories and we have seen the benefit of carrying inventory in our business organization. Then the objective in this such circumstances can be like how to decide the optimum level of inventory where the total cost, that includes the carrying cost of inventory and also the ordering cost of inventory, is minimum. On that is the point where it is known as the optimum size of inventory that a firm should try to keep at any given point of time. So, objective of inventory management can be achieved by ensuring optimal stock level, neither less nor more inventory can be kept in the organization if we are going to work on this. Then the another objective is to minimize the operational cost associated with the inventory. Is streamlining inventory process, that means wherever the order is placed and the commodity is delivered by the supplier, the management has to ensure that there is no time lag. And similarly, if the inventory management has been done rationally and logically, the company would always be having sufficient stock to meet the customer demand. And cost effective storage is another objective that can be achieved with proper inventory management, and this would together ensure that the business survives and business grows at a very fast rate. Now, when we have seen the inventory management and its objective that is going to be achieved, then naturally the question comes like, can it be done with reasonable amount of accuracy or not? So, yes, the management can take the help of foolproof techniques with the help of which it can minimize the cost and increase the operational efficiency. Let us have a look at the different techniques of inventory management. So, here we will discuss economic order quantity model, ABC approach, reorder points, safety stock, just in time approach, VED analysis and FNSD analysis. All these techniques one way or the other help the manager to decide the optimum level of inventory where the cost is minimum and the value of the firm is maximum. Let us start with the first technique, which is better known as the economic order quantity model. Now, we have also seen under the cash management that the economic order quantity model is used whenever there is a certainty of demand, like we can calculate the accuracy of demand for the inventory, and here this is based on a formula where the economic order quantity is equal to under root 2 KD upon Pi. Here the D stands for annual usage rate. That means, what is the annual usage rate which is normally followed by the company. The P stands for unit purchase price of inventory item. I stands for annual inventory carrying charges as a percentage of inventory value, whereas the K stands for the ordering cost or the acquisition cost per order. Now, we shall also discuss with the help of a practical problem where a company ABC has estimated that it would require 4,000 lamp bases for the coming year for manufacturing the lamps. The company decided not to carry an inventory reserve for contingency, and company has also estimated that the ordering cost per acquiring the material will be approximate 2.5 rupees per order, and annual inventory carrying charges will be 25% of the average value of inventory. The purchase price of each lamp base is 2 rupees regardless of the quantity ordered. Acquisition cost at various inventory level can be determined by multiplying the number of orders placed per year by the order cost. So, with an order quantity of 50 lamp bases, the company would place 80 orders per year. Let us see the solution of this problem. Here this table depicts how the total inventory cost will vary based on the different size of the order placed by the company. So, number 1 column denotes the usage rate, which is 4,000 unit. Second column depicts the order quantity, where it is ranging from 50 quantity to 1000 quantity. Why I am giving this the quantity ordered in an ascending order, because we want to show that if the quantity ordered is low, then the ordering cost will be high, because the company has to place more number of orders. But when we are increasing the quantity ordered, now the number of orders that is to be placed by the company will be lowered. Now, based on this, we would also calculate the average inventory that will be available at a given point of time. Then we have also calculated carrying cost, that is the 25% of the average inventory value, and acquisition cost has been calculated keeping in mind the number of order placed and also the ordering cost. Then total inventory cost is nothing but the summation of ordering cost and also the carrying cost. So, we can see, like when the company is placing the order for 50 units, now it has to place almost as high as 80 orders to cover the 4,000 unit. In this case, the average inventory available with the company will be 50, whereas the average carrying cost, which is 25% of the average inventory value, will come out to be 12.5, and acquisition cost will be 200, and total cost is nothing but the carrying cost and acquisition cost taken together. So, it is 212.5. Now, let us try to find out the row where the total inventory cost is minimum. So, if you look at the row number 4, we see that when company is placing the order for 200 quantity, the order to be placed by the company is only 20 and company would be incurring the carrying cost as 50 because that is the 50%, 25% of the average inventory value, and acquisition cost will be 50 and total cost is only 100. So, if you compare this 100 with the rows above the fourth row, and also if you compare this 100 as the total inventory cost with the subsequent rows, you find that it has increased from 100 to 102.5, 125 and 260. So, this EOQ model has very well made us understand how the optimum size of the inventory is to be calculated at a given point of time where the total cost is minimum. So, these are the certain workings how we have calculated the acquisition cost, that is the number of order, that is 80 multiplied with 2.5, that is the ordering cost, and this is how we have reached to a value of 200. Carrying cost has been calculated by taking the average inventory value and by multiplying it with the 2, and that is the working of calculating different type of cost. Now, let me illustrate the various phenomena and various situations, how the most economic order quantity has come out to be 20 and 200 units have been ordered under this particular scenario. So, here the first scenario is if the company places 16 orders of 250 units, the acquisition cost will decrease by 10. You can see here in this. So, but when the company is placing the order for 250 unit, the average inventory value is going to be only 12.50 and inventory cost will increase by 2.50. Similarly, we can also see that economical way to reduce the average inventory to 160 unit, which is being covered by 25 orders, will result in cut in carrying cost by rupees 10, but the acquisition cost will go up by 2.5. So, here this model has given us a way where we can see that when the ordering cost is increasing, carrying cost is decreasing and vice versa in the other case. So, if you put the values in the formula, we again verify that it is at the 200 unit we have been able to reduce the total cost of carrying inventory. But if we look at the limitations of this model, it can be used only when we are assured of predicting the demand for inventory with 100% of accuracy. Similarly, here the carrying cost is fixed, ordering cost is fixed, which may not be in the real life situation. So, let us see another problem based on the economic order quantity and also on the other techniques of inventory management, that is known as a reorder points. So, we have discussed the economic order quantity. Let me share with you what is the reorder point. In any business or organization, we should have some safety stock. Safety stock is a technique whereby we ensure that when the inventory level reaches to a certain point, the next order must be placed in order to see that there is no stock out situation in the company. So, for that, if we see the problem that is being shown in this slide, the company has an expected uses of 20,000 unit of product during the next year. Cost of processing an order is rupees 15, carrying cost per unit is rupees 1 for a year, and lead time is the time taken from the situation when an order is placed and the order is delivered by the supplier. So, this lead time is 8 days and the company has a policy of carrying a reserve supply of 3 days uses. So, here if based on this information we have to calculate the economic order quantity and reorder point, we find that 775 unit should be kept at any given point of time at which the total carrying cost would be minimum and the value of the inventory or the firm would be maximum. Similarly, if we put the values in the formula for calculating the reorder point, it is the reorder point can be calculated by having the safety stock plus lead time into usage rate. So, safety stock here is the 3 days uses. So, if company is using 58, so we want to have the reserve of at least 3 days. So, 58 multiplied by 3 plus the lead time, that is 8 days, into 50, that is the usage rate, gives us 638 unit. That means, this is the level of inventory at which the next order must be placed by the company. So, company should not wait that the inventory level reaches below 638 unit, that is the use of reorder point. That gives a kind of a relaxation and also a kind of guarantee to the management that whenever the company is having the demand for finished goods or any kind of inventory, it is in a position to service this. Now, there is another important techniques of inventory management known as the ABC approach, which is also based on the Pareto's law of cause and effect, which says that the 20% of the total inventory provides 80% of result or the revenue, whereas 80% inventory results only in 20% value. That means, here we should identify each and every item based on their urgency, their importance in the production process. There could be some item which is very costly and they are slow moving, and there are also other items which are not very expensive. So, here we cannot pay equal attention to all the items, rather we should follow the principle of selective control. So, items which are more important should be paid more attention, whereas the items which are not very precious, not very valuable, should be given lesser attention as compared to the other product. It is especially relevant in the case when the company is dealing with certain luxurious item like the jewelry item, where the item may be very low in terms of the quantity, but as far as the value is concerned, it is very expensive. So, here the attention should be paid to those items which are contributing immensely towards the value or the revenue of the company. Similarly, VED analysis is also very helpful, and it is again based on the categorization of the items. They can be item which is very vital means very crucial. If they do not exist in the company, if they are not available, it may interrupt the production process. There can be some item which are essential, they support efficient operation and they should be also regularly available. And there are certain items kept under the category of desirable item which enhances efficiency, but do not impact production immediately. So, company can wait for these category of products. So, here the 3 kind of product need different level of attention by the management. Then there are techniques which is known as FNSD analysis. This analysis also attempts to categorize the inventories into 4 groups in descending order of their importance and the uses. The F here denotes the fast moving items which is consumed quickly and require constant monitoring to prevent a stock out. So, that means they should be replenished, they should be refilled as and when they are consumed. Then there are items which is moving at a normal pace. There are the items used steadily over a year. There can be certain items which is not moving very fast, but they are moving very slowly, and because of the low demand and the demand is also spread evenly over the period of time, but it is not that company should ignore these items, but they should also be given due attention by the management. And there are dead stocks which has no foreseeable demand and occupies valuable space. So, these are the categories of items which actually results in high carrying cost, but they do not result in the value for the company. So, according to this technique, what should be the strategy of the management? The management should need to be constantly monitoring and replenishing the order, especially in the case of fast moving items. Then there is a very important, very crucial technique of inventory management known as a just in time approach, where in order to avoid the inventory carrying cost, company would not pile up the stock inventory, rather it would have the arrangement with the supplier in such a manner so that the inventory can be obtained, it can be acquired from the supplier as and when it is needed. And within this JIT approach, we have certain strategies or tactics like the push to pull, where the JIT places focus driven production with demand triggered manufacturing, so that the wastage is minimized in a company. Then there are certain other tactics like where inventory is seen as a problem. So, here it is a sign of inefficiency if the company carries high level of inventory. So, these are the other techniques which can be used with the proper precautions, and proper precaution is needed. Why? Because company has to have the trade off between the two very important situations. There is sufficient stock of inventory, but not at the cost of profitability of the company, but and on the other hand it should also see that the ordering cost is not much. Now, how to see that the inventory valuation management is efficient and effective? It is judged with the help of one very important ratio known as the inventory turnover ratio, which is calculated by dividing cost of goods sold by the average inventory. So, here cost of goods sold is nothing but the expenditure which has been incurred during the production process, and average inventory can be calculated by taking the beginning amount of inventory plus closing amount of inventory divided by the 2. A very high inventory turnover ratio indicates that company is rotating its inventory for producing, for generating the maximum amount of sales. But sometimes the inventory turnover ratio is very, very high. It can also indicate a situation where company is keeping very low amount of inventory, which can cause the interruption in the production process, and sometimes it may also cause dissatisfaction of the customers, and it may lead to a situation where the customers are switching from our company to some other company to get the position of the raw material, work in progress or the finished goods. So, that is how the inventory management is very, very important, and it is a very crucial part of current assets and the company. In order to assure the profitability as well as liquidity, inventory management should occupy a prime importance in any financial management discussion. So, with this we come to the end of this discussion. Thank you.